What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning into this week's video. I hope you've been having a great week, and today I would like to come to you and talk about Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation. If you're interested, then just keep on watching. I'm going to give a thorough review, and I would like to even do a wear test to see how long it lasts and how it wears on the skin for about 8 hours if I can. It says that it is a luminous makeup nude skin feel, and it says it is all day wear, broad spectrum SPF 18 sunscreen, and I got the shade in L3 Nude. This is the makeup brand that Drew Barrymore came out with, and I think that it's a brand that's really fun. It's sold at Walmart and it's fairly inexpensive, had good reviews before, and I wanted to try it for myself, and I am here to bring to you if I agree if it's a good foundation or not. Now, I have also like to bring to you more details on this foundation, and not only give you a wear test and a review, but also to talk to you about sunscreen. I would just like to kind of bring my videos back to what I wanted to bring to you when I started these videos. My videoversary is going to be February 12th, and I was just like, I actually went back and I watched my first video, which was pretty horrible, and I'd see how I have progressed since then. So I kind of remembered what I started out this channel to be, what I wanted it to be, the vision that I had for it, and that was kind of to bring to you information about ingredients. I have actually spent the last few hours researching and learning about the different kind of sunscreens, the ingredients in sunscreens, and the different categories that they come in. This is all information that I have found, and I wanted to kind of learn about these and bring them to you so you didn't have to spend as much time as I did learning about them, and kind of compile the information that I found into a video and just give you some education on what these ingredients are. So on the back here, it says that there is octinoxate 5%, and it says purpose sunscreen. Then it says titanium dioxide 2%, also sunscreen, and zinc oxide 4.9%, also sunscreen. There are two different kinds of sunscreens. There are physical sunscreens and there are chemical sunscreens. Now, physical sunscreens, they come in usually zinc oxide or titanium dioxide, and this foundation has both of those in it. They block ultraviolet light. Ultraviolet light is a wavelength that you cannot see with the naked eye. Zinc and titanium dioxide, when you apply it on your skin, it is supposed to reflect and scatter the light from the sun that hits your skin. So when you apply this, there are two different kinds of wavelengths that this combats against. It is UVA and UVB. Now, UVA wavelengths, they penetrate deep into the layers of the skin, or also called the stratum basal. It damages collagen and ages skin if the sun hits your skin and you don't have a sunscreen on. For UVB wavelengths, it penetrates the top layer of the skin, also called the stratum corneum. That damages DNA and can give you the sunburn. So zinc and titanium dioxide also have a protection against visible light. Visible light have longer wavelengths than ultraviolet light. You also want protection from visible light because it comes against inflammatory pigmentation and melasma. Interesting thing about this marketing scheme is they say it's light illusion. Now, zinc and titanium dioxide create a white cast on your skin, specifically titanium dioxide. Here, they actually used that to their advantage, and they said it's light illusion, like it's supposed to reflect from the skin, and that's like the desired look. It gives you a dewy look. And I think that was a really smart a smart move. They were wise with their marketing schemes. And also, if you didn't know what SPF stood for, it actually stands for Sun Protective Factor. An interesting thing that I found out about SPF is if you get an SPF 30 versus an SPF 50, the percentage of protection that it gives is only 1% difference. SPF 30 gives 97% protection supposedly, and 50% gives 98%. If you see a sunscreen that says SPF 80 or something really extreme, it's not necessarily any better than SPF 50. Once you hit that 50 mark, it pretty much it maxes out at 98% or around there, and going higher isn't necessarily better. It's just a marketing scheme. If you want more protection from visible light, try looking for ingredients like iron oxide. So I just explained to you what physical sunscreen was. Like I said, it's zinc and titanium dioxide. Now I would like to talk about chemical sunscreen. And these are a bit different because they can be labeled as avobenzone, octinoxate, which again is in this foundation. They also come in names like octocrylene, octosalate, and oxybenzone. And they form a film over the skin, and again, they protect you from from ultraviolet light. The thing about chemical sunscreens is you want to apply them on your skin for about 20 minutes before exposure, and then about every 2 hours after that. It kind of has to like activate. So you have to put it on, and with physical sunscreens, you can put it on and immediately go outside and it immediately protects you. Now the difference between chemical and physical sunscreens is I find that it sounds to me like physical sunscreens more reflect or scatter the light that hits your face, and they block ultraviolet light, whereas chemical sunscreens absorb the light. They don't absorb into your skin, but they absorb the light. It kind of gives it like a cushion, if you will, and it disperses it as energy. It's basically a filter. It protects against UVB and UVA. Avobenzone protects against UVA. Now, ingredients do degrade over time, so you have to watch the expiration dates. Chemical sunscreens have no protection against visible light. Chemical sunscreens can be less tolerated by people with sensitive skin, and it can sometimes irritate or sometimes initially burn when you're applying it. And so if that's a problem for you, then definitely look for things that have physical sunscreens in them, which again are zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. So that is the information that I had on sunscreen. I wanted to just kind of spill that and just let you know what I found, and hope that that gives you some insight. Wear your sunscreen because it is very important to protect your skin, and even if you don't have redness or you don't look like that you had a sunburn, extended amount of time in the sun can be damaging, and we don't want you walking around with damaged skin. It is kind of funny because it is a terribly rainy, cold day here where I'm at, but even on rainy days, the sun is still there, and so you still might consider wearing sunscreen, even when it's overcast, even when it's bad weather. Let's get to the application of this. In this video, I'm going to just apply the foundation, and then I think I will go off camera and do the rest of my makeup, and then I will check back in, probably give a 4-hour check-in, and then I might come back in and do the closing check-in at around 8 hours. Kind of give you an idea of how it's wearing, how long it's lasting, if it's giving me oily skin, if it's drying me out, if it's rubbing away completely, and just getting rather critical with this, but in a way that's helpful to you as a consumer. I do want to use my Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. It's something that I've been using almost every day that I put makeup on, and I do really enjoy this primer. It smells good, and it is just a nice feeling primer. I just put it right here, just on my forehead because my forehead gets a little oily, and down the bridge of my nose and underneath my eyes where I want things to stay really smooth. I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to go straight into the foundation. I probably use about 1.5 pumps because 2 tends to be a little more than what I go for, but 1 isn't quite enough. I am going to powder. I'm going to put concealer on. I'm going to apply my makeup again, like I said, just like I normally would, because I want to give a realistic idea of what this foundation, how I normally would use it and wear it on a day-to-day basis. Making sure to apply it underneath my neck so there's not a foundation line. Now I'm going to scoot you in and give you... Alright, here is what my makeup looks like. Very close up. A little bit of redness, but it's natural. It's not completely full coverage. I believe if I'd used another pump, I could probably cover it up. But I do like to have a more natural, non-makeup-y looking skin. Alright, again, I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to put the rest of my makeup on. Concealer, powder, bronzer, blush, probably some highlight, and I will be right back. I'm back! Now, what do you think? I decided that today was an eyebrow day, so we did darken up the eyebrows a bit. And then I put on this Healthy Lip by Physicians Formula, and I think that I'm excited because it kind of is a rather simple look. I actually didn't put a single eyeshadow on. I know, what? And I, again, darkened up my eyebrows and just put a bold lip on, and I'm going to see how this wears. Again, I'm going to give you a nice close-up now of my face with the makeup on, and if I can get this thing to focus and not go wild with the white balance. This is what the forehead looks like. This is very much how I like to have my skin. It's not super dewy, but it has a little bit of shine to it, and it's not like, it's a good balance. Again, I'm going to come back. We will check in about 3 or 4 hours if I can, depending on how the day goes, and we'll see where we're at there. Hey guys, just wanted to do a check-in. It's about 5 hours later, and I'm going to bring you up real close. We're going to take a look. So, from what I can see, things don't look too bad. I think the forehead is a tiny bit more shiny. My oil's poking through a little bit, and then my nose, it is probably a little bit more shiny than it was. But everything else is okay. I think my blush and highlight, you can tell, still stayed. I don't know. I kind of had a light bronzer contour day, so it's not super noticeable. Things are okay. I probably, if I had to do it, I would powder my nose and powder my forehead, just because I really don't like shiny. I don't like those being shiny. Lipstick, I think it's pretty good stuff. Like, yeah, I'm a fan. So, it's lasted, and I have eaten an apple and some Baby Bells and some fruit snacks. So nothing greasy, nothing messy, a lot of finger food. But I have, worn it since since you last saw me. Again, that's the 5-hour mark, and I will check in again. We will do a final check-in at the 8-hour mark. Alright guys, I am back from my final check-in, and I'm going to get up real close and you can tell me what you think about how the foundation wore. I'm going to show you my forehead. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's not too bad. I would probably, it's not my favorite foundation on my forehead. I know that sounds funny, but my nose is the shiniest, and like right there you can really see it. That kind of bugs me. It's not perfect, but that's okay. First world problems anyway, because this isn't really that big of a deal. But I just thought that I would do a really in-depth video for you guys and give you details about what sunscreen is, how important it is to take care of your skin, and even when you want to have like days where you're not going to be outside much, still just anytime you're walking around outside or you're working or whatever, you just want to take care that you're not you're not being too exposed to the sun because it can be damaging. Last of all, the Healthy Lip from Physicians Formula, I'm really impressed with. Just a real quick note, the formula is very comfortable. I do enjoy wearing it. It's thin, it doesn't feel real goopy and thick, and it's fairly, for a liquid lipstick, it's very hydrating. And I know that sounds kind of opposite because they dry down and they can get really cakey. Liquid lipsticks can get really cracked and gross on your lips, but this lasted a long time, and you can see that it's kind of like worn off. And I actually had spaghetti for dinner, so yeah, like there's noodles like rolling all over my lips, but the pigment, you can tell, is still there, and it may not be as pretty as it was when I first applied it, but it's not gone, and it didn't wear off, you know, nasty. Some liquid lipsticks wear off really gross, and this one didn't. Again, Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation is a win in my book, but it's probably not the top foundation I would ever use. I am still in search of a foundation that will keep my nose oil at bay. That is my final thought on that. So I hope that you enjoyed this review. I hope that you enjoyed learning about sunscreen, and I hope you will come by and stop again in my next video. I will see you next time. Bye!